The days Eragon spent in Elismira blended together without distinction. Time seemed to have no hold in the Pinewood city. Book 2, Eldest, Chapter 46, The Beginning of Wisdom, and Chapter 47, Broken Egg and Scattered Nest. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle chapter by chapter. I'm Lucy Hart.
And I'm Darien Smart.
And we get a lot of interesting lore in this
There's
one.
a lot of lore in this one, yeah.
Pretty cool. But before we do that, do we have a spark of inspiration, Darien?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have had a book that was sitting on my nightstand for almost 2 years, definitely over a year. And it's, I don't know. So when do you ever have a thing where you know you're going to like something and you're like, I'm very excited to read this and I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy it or like watch it or whatever.
Yep.
But like for whatever reason, your brain is like, you're not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yep.
So finally, busted open this book. This book was called The End Crowns All by B. Fitzgerald.
Okay.
And it is a sapphic reimagining of the events of the Trojan War.
Oh, interesting.
Where our main characters are Cassandra, the prophetic princess of Troy, who has been cursed by Apollo to have no one believe her prophecies, and Helen, the Spartan queen, who was taken to Troy by Paris and becomes the, Helen of Troy, the face that launches 1,000 ships, right? And it is these two women trying to navigate the situations that have brought them to this point.
Yeah.
Also, ultimately, it's sapphic, so they ultimately fall in love.
Yeah.
Cassandra is a sapphic ace, and Helen is bisexual.
Yeah.
And they're both very cool, and B. Fitzgerald does this incredible job of reaching into these myths and these stories and these epics and centering the women of the narratives in a way that they were never allowed to be centered before. And what I also deeply like about her is she is not scared to be like, actually something different happened. Like, I love her first novel of this mythology is Girl Goddess Queen, which is a reimagining of the Persephone and Hades story. And maybe have mentioned that before. I think I did.
Yep.
It kicks ass. I love it. It's so fascinating. It like gives Persephone a lot of agency. It really interestingly like analyzes like how we can like the gods of Olympus are terrible but gives a good reason of why the underworld gods wouldn't be that way. And that's super interesting. In The End Crowns All, it really leans into Cassandra having prophecy and having fate and literally being able to like rewrite the events of the Trojan War as she tries so desperately to stop the horrible things that are going to happen to everyone she loves. And Helen coming to be able to speak for her, able to believe her, and being able to speak for her in a way that she can't speak for herself anymore because of what Apollo has done to her. And it just kicks ass. It's so cool. I cried so many times from like joy and from sorrow when she isn't able to save certain people she loves. Like, it's still so devastating and so harsh and so interesting. And it kicks ass. Spoilers, my next spark of inspiration is going to be the third mythology book that Fitzgerald has written, but I'll tell you all about that in the next episode.
There you go.
But yes, the Girl Goddess Queen and The End Crowns All do both have U.S. publishers. I bought them before they did, so I ordered them from the U.K. to be shipped over. Worth it. But if you want Girl Goddess Queen and you are a U.S. listener, that is something you can get pretty easily now. The End Crowns All has not been published in the U.S. just yet. But also if you want to order through Blackstone Books, that's where Waterstone? Hold on. I was able to order mine and they do free shipping to the US even now with all of the tariffs and the nonsense. It was pretty reasonable. So I highly recommend if you like mythology and also that's her.
It's on Audible now.
It's on Audible.
It's now. It wasn't when you first talked about it. It wasn't. Now it is. That is going on the wish list.
Yay!
There we go.
See?
Girl Goddess Queen series, so the other ones are going to come.
Yes,
as
I was
well.
going to see if the end crown's all, because that one
it's
I
not
can't
on there
recommend
yet,
enough.
but it does say the Girl Goddess Queen, and then below it says series, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they're all, like, they take place in this same mythological world, but, like, it doesn't, like, the next one doesn't follow Hades and Persephone, it follows the mortals in the Trojan and the gods and stuff. And it's just, if you like mythology, and two, if you enjoy seeing these stories recontextualized for the modern era, because if you're someone who's a very traditionalist and you're like, well, that wouldn't happen, and that's not reasonable, and that wouldn't happen because of these reasons, you probably wouldn't have fun.
Yeah.
Right? Simultaneously, I do feel like you can tell Fitzgerald has a deep understanding of the original myth. Like, she's not just playing around on the surface level. Like, she is someone who has studied deeply these stories, the cultural relevancy of these stories then, the time period and the history of them. Like, it's really great.
Yay.
And you can see the love and the time and the care put into crafting this narrative. So I recommend it, and I will tell you all about her Pandora reimagining next time.
Yes.
Lucy, do you have your spark of inspiration?
Yes, my spark of inspiration. I don't think it's very unique, but it's just the changing weather.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's getting lighter out, and I'm finding myself with more energy and like just all these things, and it's just lighter, longer, and it makes me feel better about things. And it doesn't feel like when I get home I'm like, well, it's dark outside and I can't do anything. I'm
Lucy,
like, nope, I still got a couple.
Terrible news.
Oh,
we
no.
are
I know, and then I was gonna say it is
so
gonna
this
daylight
is
savings
going to come out after daylight savings has just kicked us in the ass again.
And I'm gonna enjoy it, and then daylight savings is gonna hit, and then it's gonna happen to me again.
Good news, we'll be able to enjoy it
again.
In, like, April when we get the sun again.
Yep. So I'm kind of bummed that it's gonna go away, but I'm like, for now, I'm enjoying it right now. I'm enjoying it right now. And then I'll be kind of bummed, and then I'll enjoy it again when it hits again. But for now, I'm just happy.
We live pretty far up in the northern hemisphere, so like, it is kind of crazy how much the light changes here between summer and winter, and that it's hard. But yeah, I feel it too. Just being like, oh, the sun's still up when I'm leaving work, and the sun is up when I'm getting ready in the morning. Wow, I suddenly feel like I have endless energy.
Yes, absolutely. And
it's like human beings are meant to operate in the sunlight or something.
Darkness makes the depresso stronger. Anyway, but no, like, so super excited, and that's just for me. I think that'll help a lot with the resolution I have, and just writing, and just also diving into like other creative things that I got going on. So,
Excellent. Well, shall we dive into these chapters?
Yes, let's dive into these chapters that are before the ones that drive us insane. Anyway.
The beginning of wisdom. Eragon tries to apologize to Arya with a bouquet of flowers and by wandering through her house without permission. And somehow this works great. Sure, man. Later, Gladier teaches Saphira and Eragon the history of the Dragon Riders. For dinner, Eragon goes with Saphira to hunt some meat, though he finds he is unable to eat the formerly living things. Broken egg and scattered nest. During a lesson, Eragon and Oramus feel the pain of some physical harm coming to their dragons. When Gladier returns alone, Eragon goes to find Saphira at an ancient dragon hold. Saphira confesses that she propositioned Gladier and did not respond well when rejected. Eragon and Saphira have a heart-to-heart, and Ryder convinces Dragon to apologize for her behavior.
So good.
These are good chapters.
These are really good chapters.
Yeah.
I really like these chapters.
Okay. Hey, Eragon, what the fuck, buddy?
Yeah.
Like, I should apologize to Arya. And she's, like, avoiding him, which, like, of course she is.
Yep.
And so his thought is, I should bring her a bouquet of flowers and then just go into her house without permission.
Yep.
You know how to write. You could leave a note.
Yeah. And my other thing, too, is, like, he goes and he walks around and he's like, what is it? The line. Looking but not touching, savoring his glimpse into Arya's life.
Right?
And I'm like, dude, that's not helping your cause, man.
This is not good.
And then she appears and she's like, you're in my space, and that doesn't bode well. My thing is, and he also, like, he starts reading the poem she has.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like, I wouldn't want
digging through her stuff.
Yeah, I was like, without permission. Like, I've had people read like my rough draft and my shitty draft of my book, but I was with my permission. If somebody were like, oh, I just took the liberty, I got on your phone and I saw that and I just started reading it, I would be like, that's like my rough draft. Like, you don't just do that without asking
I saw
my
your
permission.
computer was left open, so
I just started reading, and I'm just like, dude, no, you don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if she was like, hey, I'm writing this poem, what do you think? That's entirely different. But you're just reading it, and it's just, and then, but it's like, I will give him grace. He does put his bouquet that he picked onto the table and then is going to leave.
Right, but
so I'll give him that.
Not before he...
Not before he walks around and looks at everything and takes in, like, she's got, and that's, like, my other thing is, like, she's got a picture of her dad and then also of the elf that she probably loved, one of her guards.
That of a younger male elf he did not recognize. Yeah, her fucking boyfriend.
Yeah, and then it's
like died pretty recently.
Yeah, and then it's also isn't that Fowlin what he says is like, I don't know how to make a blossom for you like Fowlin did, and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, because he sees other things, a glass sphere with a preserved blossom of the black morning glory embedded in it, fucking gorgeous. Different scrolls. 3 miniature trees grown in the shape of glyphs in the ancient language for peace, strength, and wisdom. Which is just...
Laugh.
It was so
she
like live, laugh, love, but for elves.
Yeah.
But it's like trees in the ancient language, so it like maybe is physically magic.
It's probably also like really pretty. With
I bet it's gorgeous.
With how the ancient language has been described, how it looks. It probably looks really pretty.
But peace, strength, wisdom is giving live, laugh, love.
Yes,
and I
really
love
is.
that for Arya. Listen, she's allowed to be a little bit of a basic bitch if she wants to.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
is this the elven equivalent? I bet everyone's got one in their place.
Yep. It's kind of like she's probably not in this room very much anyway. So if that makes her happy, then go for it.
It's great. I love that for her.
Yeah, absolutely. If she comes home after being away for like a year, she is allowed to be like, yes, this is my room.
And then we see the poem where we read a few of the stanzas of.
Yep.
And then he's decided, and like on one hand, I see what Palini wants to do.
Yeah.
Like he is trying to give us, the reader, a glimpse into Arya, a character that we don't know
really
a lot
know
about. And that is Eragon's fault.
Yes. That's like, and that's another thing is like Eragon has talked about himself and we've seen just Eragon, but Arya's very like, I don't talk about myself. Like, I just don't. I don't talk about it.
And one, I think she's already pretty reserved. And we can see, like, the rejection of her mother for, like, the choosing to become the ambassador and stuff. Like, that would have made her like that. She's seen a lot of people she loves die.
Yes.
She's still actively grieving the loss of her boyfriend.
Yep.
And all that. So, but the other problem is, because every time Arya starts to share about herself, Eragon takes that as a permission to, like, get romantic.
Yes.
So, like, that's the other reason that we as readers have not gotten to know that Arya is a live, laugh, love girly.
Yes.
Is because every time she tries to, like, open up about who she actually is as an individual, Eragon fucking ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
So...
Yep. And it's also, like, I feel like it's portraying, I think Arya would probably feel like that's betraying her a little bit because she's trying to open up and then he takes that opportunity to, like, but I love you. And she's like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect with you as a friend.
And you just refuse.
And you're
just... I told, like, how many fucking times?
Yeah.
One more time, probably.
Yep.
So she's like, hey, also the crazy thing he says, I don't know how to make a blossom for you like Phelan did, but these are honest flowers and the best I can find. I cannot accept them, Eragon. Which, hey, that's a crazy thing to do, is to compare them to the flower her dead boyfriend made for her.
Yep.
Like, why are you even making that comparison?
Yep.
You literally could have just been like, I came to apologize. I didn't know another way of, like, showing that. Then I found these for you.
Yeah.
Because at first she's like, no. He's like, no.
You know,
they're not that sort of
Yeah,
gift.
he could have even been like, I know they're not as pretty as the ones in, like, the garden, but these are the best I found.
Yeah.
That
would
have also...
Yeah, but also still, like, the actual opening thing is, like, I wish to apologize to my behavior.
Yes, that too. Yes,
like,
the opening being like, I want to apologize.
Yeah, the opening being like, you remember your dead boyfriend who made you this flower? Well, I can't do that, but I hope you like these instead.
Yeah.
Eragon, what? You're 16.
Yep.
Stop it. Is he 16 or 17?
He's 16 right now.
16?
Yeah, he's still 16.
You need to fucking chill.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate you want to apologize. You haven't just wandering in her house.
Yeah.
Like,
and
buddy, you could have left a note like, at her door.
Yep. And that's like, of course, Arya's like, I can't accept them because the vibe you're giving off. And Eragon's like, they're not that sort of gift.
Yeah.
Like, he says it like he wants it to be that kind of gift.
Yeah,
which
or he's
is
like, no, sorry. Or maybe he's realizing, ooh, shit.
Shit.
No, I didn't
wait,
think
hold
it would
on.
come.
Backpedal.
He's like the kid. We gotta remember
He's an awkward
16.
kid.
He's learning. He's been through a lot, but he has no experience in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he does, like, listen, I think he offers a good apology.
Yes,
like,
I do. I think so too. I think he does a good job.
It's no excuse, but I didn't realize beforehand that my farth would put you in such a difficult situation. For that, I'm sorry, and I cry your pardon. I was just trying to make a farth, not cause trouble. I understand the importance of my studies, Arya, and you don't need to fear that I will neglect them in order to moon after you. That's all. And she takes the flowers, because it's nice, and she's like, but he's like not doing great.
Yeah.
And
I do like that when she takes them, she's staring at him.
Yeah.
And she doesn't look away.
Have you been ill? On my back.
Yep.
So she makes him some tea. And they sit down and they have a cup of tea.
And it's like, again, like, I see this as an olive branch. She's like, okay, we want to be friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to take you at your word.
Yes. Let's do this.
What I would do for my friend is make you a cup of tea because you're going through a hard time.
Yeah, you're going through a hard time. I can see you're having a rough time. You tell me you're having a rough time. Let me make you a cup of tea. Let's just chat.
Yep. She's like, how's Saphira? Yeah, she's good. So Arya reveals that she's planning on going back to the Varden.
Yep.
She's like, I've been here way too long, but my mom wanted me to hang out, and the blood moon ceremony is coming up, or blood moon celebration. She's also never been to one before.
Yeah.
Because they only happen once every century, and I think we determined that Arya's like 70?
Yes.
Yeah, so one hasn't happened in her lifetime.
Yep.
We can gather.
Yep.
Yeah, because
this will be her first one.
Yeah, and so that's super. So she wants to stay for that, but she's got to go back to work.
Yeah,
she's like,
I gotta go.
Like Eragon, she has a job.
She's like, I was gonna say she was on vacation. She fucking wasn't. She was recovering from trauma.
Yeah. She was on sick bereavement. She was on personal. She was taking some personal leave.
Yes, and so, but now she's got to go. She got to go back to work.
There's also a pretty nice interaction where he does mention he saw the poem. And she reveals that, oh, by the way, something that no one has mentioned to Eragon yet. Everyone's supposed to bring, like, some sort of, like, artistic creation for the ceremony.
I like how he had no idea until Arya told him. It's like he could have gone the whole thing without it and then would have, like, the biggest offense.
Yeah.
Like, not bring anything.
Like, in like, the next chapter, Ormus does give him a heads up about it.
True.
But Ormus approaches it as if he already knew about it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's true.
And so he compliments on her, and she's like, oh, well, if you'd read much poetry, I have. Because he has. Because Ormus has given him a ton of elven poetry. She's like, okay, yeah, no, fair point. Yeah.
I honestly, it really gives, like, a little brother. Because, like, for, like, my youngest brother, he was, like, forever 13 in my head.
Yeah.
For, like, even though he was 20. And I'm like, no, you forever 13. So I feel like that's Arya meeting Eragon when he's still learning, still kind of in that, like, you know, before yes. And but it's like she's like, oh yeah, no, you've learned a lot, you've read a lot, you've gone through a lot, so yeah, you are not the person I first met in Gilead.
Yep. Eragon expresses that he wants to hang out with her more. She's like, nah, dog. He's like, no, like I don't know how I feel about what he says here, where must the price of my indiscretion be our friendship? I cannot help how I feel towards you, but I would rather suffer another wound from Darien than allow my foolish ships to destroy our companionship that existed between us. I value it too much.
Yep.
And, like, yeah, but I don't like, it feels like a little emotionally manipulative.
It feels a little, it does. And it's also, I'm like, you should have thought about that before you opened your trap.
Then
like,
it's not like everybody didn't tell you not to do that.
Literally.
Eragon.
And, like, that's where my thoughts went. I'm like, it's really interesting that you have this perspective after. You didn't think about somebody had to point out to you, Arya is a fucking princess and you are a fucking dragon rider, and this puts her in a really difficult situation. Someone had to actually spell it out for him. But
it's also like you don't know things you don't know.
Exactly.
And Eragon's like
that's
a
true.
farm boy. He's never had to think of like these kind of like high level politics before. Like
that's true. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like, you have to spell it out. It's your first time. And I do appreciate. He's like, hey, I do want us to be friends. Like I'll be cool. I promise.
I do, and it's like even like going against what I was just saying. It's like it does make sense because people are assuming. Like I was assuming that hey, you should know this, And the people there were like, hey, you should know this. And he doesn't. He's a farm
He
boy.
doesn't know
He
this.
is a farm boy. Like,
Mhm.
y'all. And that's like even the thing, like later on, he's trying to think about something that he could make for the Blood Oath celebration. And he's like, I'm a farmer. What do I have? What can I do? Like,
Yeah.
he's a farm boy. He spent like 99% of his life as farm boy.
Yeah. So this high level, like interpersonal
Yes.
relationships that have these kind of crazy stakes.
Yeah.
Not really a thing he's
That's
ever had to think
true.
about. So, like, yeah, it's annoying, but I get it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, buddy. And so she also, like, Arya's like, our friendship shall endure, Eragon, as for spending time together. Perhaps. However, we shall have to wait to see what the future brings, for I am busy and can promise nothing. Good for you.
Yep.
Good for
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. Maybe. And
Yep.
he says, of course, Arya's Fitzcana, which, good. Experience some pleasantries. He heads out. And then we do some... We fly out. We fly to, like, a deep up in the mountains.
Yes, with Glader.
Yeah, with, like, to get some deep lore.
Yep. And this was so hard for me to listen to because Glader's voice is just awful.
It's so crazy.
And it makes me think, I'm like, man, this poor narrator.
Yeah, he does a great job,
He does
though.
a good job, but I was like, oh, because it was just rough.
Like, we can
rough
respect the
to me.
craft while not liking the
it was
product.
rough.
Like,
So
I don't
it's like,
love the
if I don't
voice, but-
remember a majority of what was said, I do apologize. I did my
Yeah.
best, y'all. It was just hard for me
Mhm.
to get through.
So essentially, we are going to where the original, like, pact between the dragons and the elves
Yes.
was made. It's just Gladier, because, or Eragon asked, like, why isn't Ormus here?
Mhm.
Because it is my duty, as was the duty of an elder dragon in centuries past, to ensure that the newest generation of riders understands the true importance of the station they have assumed. And because Ormus is not as well as he appears. So it's like twofold. It's Gladier's responsibility to, like, communicate this information that they're going to receive
Yep.
today. But acknowledging that it is a little atypical for the elder dragon's rider to not be a part of it.
Yep.
Like, Ormus,
is-
like, it's not that this is usually just the elder dragon alone.
Yeah.
He'd just be the one leading the lesson.
Yeah.
In the ideal situation, Ormus would still
Also
be here.
be there. Yeah, but he's just
this
not
was
doing well.
like Eragon had a little bit of a rough time being up so high in the cold.
Yep.
I can't. I love where's it?
I love
Where Gladier tells Saphira, "Hey, if you don't want your rider to freeze to death, breathe fire on those rocks."
Yep.
And she does, and he also is like, "Oh, remember, Saphira, use your tongue to direct the stream."
Yep.
And I like love that as a little glimpse as to like what Saphira's lessons have been like.
Absolutely.
But long and short of it is, like, we get the, like, reiteration of the pact of the dragons between the elves. The dragons didn't, like, Glader tells him, Queen Tarmanora of the elves, and the dragon who had been selected to represent us, whose name.
I love this.
He paused and conveys a series of impressions to Eragon. Longtooth, Whitetooth, Chiptooth, fights won, fights lost, countless eaten Shurg and Narga, and 27 eggs sired, and 19 offspring grown to maturity. Cannot be expressed in any language. Decided that a common treaty would not suffice. So, like, that, there's not a name. It's just a series of, like, vibes and, like, accomplishments, but also what those are, both, like, the fighting, but also the eggs and also the dragons sired that grew up. Like, I find that so fascinating. But it also ties back to what Gladier will say later about, like, how the pact influenced both the elves and the dragons.
Yes.
Because this is how we find out this is why the elves are so long-lived.
Yes.
It is because of the pact with the dragons.
Yep.
When they and the dragons gathered together, the elves provided structure of the enchantment, and the dragons provided the strength, and together they melded the souls of elves and dragons. The joining changed us. Dragons gained the use of language and other trappings of civilizations, while elves shared our longevity, since before that moment, their lives were as short as humans. In the end, the elves are most affected. Our magic, dragon's magic, which permeates every fiber of our being, was transmitted to the elves, and in time gave them their much vaunted strength and grace. Humans have never been influenced as strongly since you were added to the spell after its completion, and it has not had as much time to work upon you as the elves. And then I like this part much less still. It has already gentled your race from the rough barbarians who first landed in Allegasia, though you have begun to regress since the fall. I don't don't love that.
I also don't love that. I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like the elves weren't that before. It's all like the elves were I don't know. It's going to like elves are great. Even before they were melded with the dragons, they weren't barbarians as humans were. It's just going back to that point.
Yeah.
What we
like,
don't like.
I love the element of like this is what has given elves their immortality, basically, right?
Yes.
Like it's just they're bound, even the elves who aren't riders are bound to the dragons in a sense, like their race and the deep magic of a dragon.
Because I think it's a little contradictory, because later on Glader says that like mating with a wild female who were like ferocious and vicious, it was like seen as like a great like achievement among like the rider dragons. And it's like, you're telling me that the bonding of all dragons with the humans, who are dragons are just vicious like in nature. I mean, they're better, but they're still like raw, but that helped tame the humans? Like, okay.
Yeah. Right? Like, why would that, like, that's such a good point.
Or
like,
is it the elves that were taming the humans? Like,
I don't know, like, the civilization. It's like, but that came from the elves, like language. This is why this first dragon doesn't have like a communicable name specifically, because that's not how dragons identified themselves.
Yep.
But now that, and like, it's not just like wild dragon, and that's another thing that continued, because when we found out about Saphira's parents, her mother was her father was a rider dragon, and her mother was a wild dragon who only gave one of her eggs, which was Saphira. But her mother did have a name.
Yes.
Which means that this is a thing that all dragons had, even wild dragons.
Yep.
I like the idea that the dragons who aren't like bound to a rider are just more wild.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between a house cat and a feral cat.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's a difference between those cats. And some feral cats would want to be an inside cat. This is true.
Yes.
And some want to be left the fuck alone.
Yes.
So I don't hate that, but I do hate I just find something icky about
icky.
it.
It's icky.
Yeah,
it's just an icky feeling.
It's not the like shifting of what is necessary for a community to survive. Like this race of barbarians. It's like they made it across the ocean.
Yeah.
Like they had the technologies to be able to do that. And okay, here's why I find it kind of icky. The elves weren't barbarians when they showed up. Yeah. Even though they also made it across the oceans, right? Like they came from somewhere else. It's just the dragons and the dwarves that are indigenous to Allegasia. Yeah. The elves came from somewhere else. The Urgles came from somewhere else. The Razak come from somewhere else.
Yes.
Humans come from somewhere else. But it's the humans that are barbarian, and it suggests, here's what it is, and it's not intentional, but this is why I find that concept so unsavory, is because it suggests that real world comparison, any group of people who, even if they're able to navigate great open oceans to find a new home, are inherently less civilized than the elves who are being held for the pinnacle. It's giving Western European white supremacy.
Yeah, a little
right?
bit,
and it's not intentional, but it is suggesting that any group whose great accomplishment comes from their ancestors sailing across the oceans to find new home, as a lot of groups have done historically in the ancient past, were inherently barbarians and needed to be softened with civilization. Yeah. And that is gross and uncomfortable. Yeah. And I would say, like, not what Paolini is meaning to say, but it is. Yes. We are not separate from the product of what we have been told to raise. And so the idea that these humans were barbarians, even though they came across the ocean, even though they had structure and language and culture, but it's being bonded with dragons and becoming more like elves that has made them better. Yeah. And that's just no good. Yeah. No good. It's also interesting. It's like, but then here's the crazy part. It's like, then why do humans become elves? Yeah. Like, again, why don't they become dragons? Yes. If it's, again, the bonding, the dragonness is what is influencing them. Why are they being shaped into elves? Because the only thing the elves got from dragons, yes, their strength
Yeah.
and their grace.
Mm-hmm.
But like that is but also which is crazy because it felt like that was just supposed to be a thing that they gained from their long lives, which is what came from the dragons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
circling back to being like, I don't like that. I
Yeah.
still don't like it. It's weird, and especially when we were learning this, especially when we learned this like magical
and
trade.
It's even what Glader says. It's like the elves are the ones that changed the most of this, and I think it's because what he says, which permeates our every fiber of our being.
Mhm.
So you would think if the dragons had the weight of like the most impact, I should say,
Mhm.
of that binding thing, that they would start to look more like dragons.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. But again, it's like, why is it impacting it was a bond between all of the races.
Yeah.
Because any elf can be a potential rider to a dragon. And
Yeah.
I think that's the important part. And that's why it's a
Yeah.
bond for all of the races. And then when the humans get added on later, now any dragon can bond with any human that they pick.
Yeah.
Right? And dwarves had never been part
Yeah, I
of
was
the pack.
gonna
They
say
didn't
we
want
learned
to.
this really cool where
Yeah.
it's like no, and that's why there's never been a dwarf rider. They do not care for dragons, nor we for them, and they found the idea of being joined with us repellent. Perhaps it is fortunate that they did not enter into our pact, for they have escaped the decline of humans and elves.
Yep, and because we find out like, yeah, this is actually like bad. Like,
Yeah,
Gobbletorks killing all the dragons have negatively impacted humans and elves. We know the elves are like suffering. What does Galater say? He says, "The two of you have not seen this, for you are new to Elismira, but the elves are on the wane. Their power is not as it once was, and the humans have lost much of their culture and been consumed by chaos and corruption. Only by righting the imbalance between our three races shall order return to the world."
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, I understand what we're trying to say here about the magical bond between the three races does have a cost when one of the races is deeply harmed, as the dragons were.
Yeah.
However, it's like, because the dragons were all killed, that has negatively impacted the humans. They fall into chaos and lost their culture. And I'm like, right. That's because of a tyrannical authoritarian rule that is suppressing the transmission of like knowledge and history in order to cement his power.
Yes.
And I thought that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
About why humanity is in such a rough state, because the leadership has designed it so.
Yes.
What do you mean now it's actually because the dragons are gone and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying, that's one of the it's saying that is directly the reason why humans have lost their culture and caused chaos, because the dragons were killed.
Yep.
As like, it's not saying that the actions that resulted in the death of the dragons have also led to this. It is saying the dragon's death led to this.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why or how exactly.
I think it would make more sense if like the humans were starting to live longer too, like if their lives were influenced. But it's like now with every generation you are dying younger and younger.
Yes, and so you are not able to preserve
your health too. It's like you guys were starting to fight off diseases and stuff, but now diseases are coming in and wiping you guys out.
Yes,
and you're just not living long enough. Your babies like die earlier, and it's harder to
and so you aren't able to preserve your culture.
And that would honestly reflect, because they talk about how it like in Carvajal, how having kids is like hard, because having a kid get like past the like danger of like young childhood, and then being like, because when that boy dies, Roran reflects on that about how having your kid make it past the dangers of like early childhood to be like 10 or 12, and then you're like, okay, we're past that, we're good, you should be okay, and then being killed in battle. That was like that whole, so it'd be like that would be a reflection of this if there was that connection there, but it's not just like, oh no, your culture.
Yeah, it's like, you know how
you're turning back
weren't barbarians because of us, but now you're reverting back, and
now
it's like,
you're going back to being barbarians. Yeah,
that's such a good point. Like it could, there is a way to demonstrate it without this weird abstract.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like the idea, but I don't love how it's executed.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't understand. Like, I guess my thing too is like, I don't if the elves, the thing that was impacted most for elves was their grace and longevity. it's like, wouldn't that also be humans? Because weren't elves like humans before this change? So humans would maybe not as strong, maybe maybe they don't live hundreds and hundreds of years, but maybe they live to be 100.
Yes,
with
it was
being
more
okay.
common.
Like maybe just like doing like, you know, and like again, like what I said about like the sicknesses, maybe diseases don't touch on humans as much because of this.
I think
and
that's
like
such a good
stuff
point.
like that. So
no, I think that is such a good, I think that's such a good take, and it would do both. Because it also feels weird to suddenly be like, oh, it's not because it's an authoritarian, violent, and dangerous regime that is crushing the people. It's because the dragons are gone. That this is happening.
honestly, you can poke holes in that, because if they're saying, oh, the reason why Galbatorix is this way is because of the fall, nah. He was that way before. He's the one that caused the fall.
It's Galbatorix's
it doesn't make any
fault.
sense. It is Galbatorix who did this, who is doing this. He's the one that's like, he's like probably burning books somewhere, like trying to destroy histories. Exactly. So
exactly that. No, it's I like the idea, but I don't love how it's being executed.
Yes. I love this. So just moving on from that,
please.
The old dragon needed the scree with his talons, crumbling it into gravel so that he was more comfortable. He's so big and he's so strong. He just crumbles pure rock to make himself
like
a little soft bed, like a cat needing a soft blanket.
Yeah,
like
settling.
That. I love that so much.
So big.
He's so big and so powerful. I love him.
We also talk about a little bit about what Galbatorix did, how he kidnapped Shuriken and twisted Shuriken. Thank you every time.
Shuriken. Yep.
And like used magic to twist the
dark magic
bonding.
is what they say.
Yeah, but I don't love using.
Nope,
the term.
that's fair.
Yeah,
nope, I agree.
It is, like, yes, that is what Paulini wrote there.
Yes.
And it's like a thing I
actively
consciously try to avoid using the term like dark magic, black magic as a connection to bad, because it does the dark is evil.
Yes.
And that's racist.
Yes, it is.
And it's one of those things that's like, that's just a term for magic. That's just a term like we use all the time. Like, yeah. But like language means things. And just because maybe we don't recognize that's the broader implication doesn't mean it's not there. So when we know better, it's our responsibility as creators to like make a conscious decision not to, because there's also corrupting magic, evil magics, violent magics, forbidden magic. Right?
Yes.
Like I
think forbidden would have been really good here.
I tend to use like corrupting magic when I'm trying to communicate that idea of magic that is inherently harmful and forbidden and corrosive.
I also think corruptive magic sounds so much cooler.
Yeah, right? So so he says dark magic, that is true. And then this is important, like, here's a good writing tip. Using terms like dark or black magic to describe evil magics is, don't do that.
Yeah.
Just, usually our tips are optional. Here's much like don't describe your characters of color comparing them to food for their skin.
Yes, don't do that.
Maybe we all can move away from this as a
black
concept.
Is bad and white is good. Let's move away from that.
Black witch, white. We can all move past it. And there are so many other words we can use to describe the nature of magic to communicate when it is harmful without also falling into like racist stereotypes.
Yep.
It's no good. And and the language gets, again, as you said, corruptive magic. Damn, that sounds a lot more impactful, a lot more specific, a lot cooler, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, so the reason Shuriken is so messed up is because this magic is unnatural.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, we learned that the reason why the eggs only hatch when presented to certain people with the person with whom it decides to bond is because there's this spell. I think the queen, certain words are said over the egg. I think the queen started this. And I like how when a dragon decides to give an egg to the rider, certain words are said over the egg, which I shall teach you later, to prevent the dragon inside from hatching until it's brought into contact with the person with whom it decides to bond. And I like that. And the reason, and then just kind of adding with what you said, the reason why Shuriken is so just insane is because that was messed with.
Yes, like he picked someone else to bond with.
Yes.
And when he was a hatchling, that person was killed.
Yes.
Which, real quick, before we get into that, I also like this talks about how like dragons can remain in their eggs indefinitely. Time is of no concern.
Yep.
Nor is the infant harmed. You or yourself are example of this, Saphira, because she's been in her eggs since the fall of the riders. That's a long time.
Long time.
But she was waiting for Eragon.
Yes, she was.
And I wonder if that was typical. Like, did some dragons stay in their egg for longer than others because they were waiting
for a certain somebody?
But maybe it was like Saphira talks about how I picked you because you were the one who was going to save all of our races.
Yeah.
Like an elf would maybe have only cared about the elves, right? And elves would have been too spiteful and too resentful to humans. Like, Saphira had some understanding of what had happened and was waiting. And I wonder if that was common. Maybe not common, but maybe not a deep concern. Like if an egg wasn't hatching, like maybe it was just they're waiting for their rider.
Yep.
And that is what it is. And some eggs will hatch quickly and some won't. But I wonder if that was just maybe 1 in 10, 1 in 15, 1 in 20.
Yeah.
They take a while to hatch because they're a little bit more... They're looking for something specific.
Yep, absolutely.
But we get to Shuriken. So it's also, in addition to magic that was cast upon this baby dragon to force him to bond with someone he did not choose.
Yes.
There was also the fact that his rider died. And that really, really fucks with you.
Yes.
He talks about, Glader talks to him, that which links you exceeds any simple connection between minds. Your very souls, your identities, call it what you will, have welded on a primal level. And he asks Eragon, do you believe a person's soul is separate from his body? And Eragon first says yes, but Glader says nah, because then he eats a rat. It's like, no.
And and then he says, when the flesh is destroyed, so is the soul.
And there's a brief argument. It's like, well, hold on, a person isn't an animal. It's like, what makes you more special than that? Essentially, like, and it's interesting because it's like, are we supposed to understand that this is the belief, like this is a fact? Or is it just what Glader believes?
Or Glader or like all dragons? Like, is this
what dragons
maybe
believe.
Elves too? Like,
like they don't believe in an afterlife because there's nothing.
Yeah.
But the reason he brings this up is because to talk about how riders, when losing the soul of your bonded partner is so bad, because we are so closely joined. When a dragon or a rider is injured, they must harden their hearts and sever the connection between them in order to protect each other from unnecessary suffering, even insanity. And since the soul cannot be torn from the flesh, you must resist the temptation to try to take your partner's soul into your own body and shelter it there, as that will result in both of your deaths. Even if it were possible, it would be an abomination to have multiple consciousness in one body. And so he teaches them how to
separate.
Do this. And that's like tying into Shuriken, who would not have known how to do that.
Nope.
And so was very young, felt their bonded person die, and then had these magics that forced them to bond with someone else. Like, this poor dragon's real messed up.
Super messed up.
That sucks.
I also think, like, when Glader says an abomination to have multiple consciousnesses in one body, also kind of a reflection of Durza, with all the souls inside of Durza and how cruel and awful and like evil he was. I think it's kind of a reflection of that. Like, like it's not good. No. Just generally not a good thing.
And then we skip to later. Eragon is being served like the best of elven cuisine.
Oh yes,
and he's like, I am so tired of vegetables. I want meat.
I love it. Describes it and what is it? Hold on. They describe the meal and Eragon says he could not bear the sight of the tray. Yeah. It's so funny.
It's like he's like, I know the queen doesn't even eat better than I do, but like
I can't. Mad. I want meat.
I'd even settle for fish or fowl, anything besides this never-ending stream of vegetables. They don't fill up my stomach. I'm not a horse. Why should I be fed like one?
Yep.
And like, Aaron, you have eggs. Like, that's protein.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You're not having enough beans? Do you need some quinoa? Do you make some tofu? Like, that's a real thing. Like, you're not feeling fed. Maybe you're not getting enough protein for your diet. Like, do elves... That's another thing. Maybe you need maybe you need a higher protein diet than what you're being offered by the elves. That's another thing we talked about a few. Like, how much medical knowledge do we have? Like, do they know how much? Which, yes, in the next chapter, we get when Eragon is healing Saphira's wing,
which is cool.
He gets, like, he's read a text that talks about, like, anatomy and stuff like that. It's like, but do they have it for humans? Like, is Eragon getting a balanced diet for a human?
Yep.
Like, and so... my thought is like, hey man, if you're trying to, eat a meat-free diet and you're not feeling full, maybe you need more protein.
You need a little more protein.
Maybe add some quinoa to that if you can. Get some like iron, dark leafy. There's a lot of good recipes. for that. I made some tofu. I made my butter chicken recipe.
Yeah.
But instead of chicken, I used tofu for that.
Okay.
So Dalton, our roommate, could have some.
Yeah.
Our dear friend Dalton, as mentioned on the podcast, is vegetarian, and so I wanted to cook food that he could enjoy as well.
Yeah.
Turned out really good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, the texture was a little different. I had to get used to that, but it was really good. I made enchiladas with quinoa instead of the meat.
Nice.
And that. So I'm just saying that maybe elven cuisine just isn't geared towards meeting the basic nutritionary standards of a human.
Yeah.
And that's why Eragon's like, I'm super hungry.
Yeah.
And Saphira's like, well, I gotta go hunting. Let's go hunting together.
Yeah, let's go hunt.
Let's go on. Let's run our errands together. I gotta go grocery shopping. You can come with me.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And
it
kind of like of like the old times of them kind of just going off. No lessons, no nothing. It's just them going off together.
Yeah. And so Saphira's gonna go hunt some deer. He's like, wait, you don't want to share your prey? No, I don't.
I love that. She's like, no, it's mine.
Yeah, no, I will if those oversized mice elude you, referring to the rabbits that he has spotted. Which Eragon then uses magic to kill?
Yeah. And it's like, it's, quote, taking all the fun out of things. Like, right, what does he say? He's like, what he had learned from Oramus had drained the challenge and excitement from the chase. I don't even have to stalk them, he thought, remembering the years he had spent honing his tracking abilities. He grimaced with sour amusement. I can finally bag any game I want, and it seems meaningless to me.
Yep.
At least when I hunted with a pebble with Brahm, it was still a challenge. But this is slaughter.
Yeah, man.
It's like, yeah, it is.
The warning of the sword shaper Ruinon returned to him then. When you can have anything you want by uttering a few words, the goal matters not, only the journey to it. Should have paid more attention to her.
Yep.
Yeah, dog. But he, prepares the rabbits, cooks them up. Saphira comes back. She's chowing down. Eragon's about to eat. And then he's like, I can't.
Yep. He realizes he can't do it.
All of the meditation.
Yep.
And all of the life he has felt.
Yep.
And
he's like, I think he's been in a head's rabbit. Like, he's been in rabbits' heads before.
Squirrels and mice and birds.
Yep.
And of how vigorously they fought for the right to exist in face of danger. And if this life is all they have, gripped by revulsion, Eragon thrusts the meat away, as appalled by the fact that he had killed the rabbits as if he had murdered 2 people.
Yep.
And he's just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And Saphira is like, hey, it is the way of the world that everything eats everything else. Why do you resist the order of things? And I like it's very thoughtful what's written here, because he's like, he did not contemn those who partake in flesh. He knew it was only means of survival for many a poor farmer, but he could no longer do so himself unless faced with starvation. Having been inside of a rabbit and having felt what a rabbit feels, eating one would have been akin to eating himself.
Yep.
And he's like, because we can better. Basically, he's like, I don't need to do that.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need to.
Yeah. And Ormus said, like, why should we cause unnecessary suffering?
Would you deny all of your desires then?
I would deny those that are destructive.
You are adamant on this?
Aye.
In that case, she advanced on him, these will make a fine dessert. In a blink, she gulped down the rabbits, then licked clean the stone with the organs, abroading the slate with the barbs of her tongue. I, at least, cannot live on plants alone. That is food for prey, not a dragon. I refuse to be ashamed about how I must sustain myself. Everything has its place in the world. Even a rabbit knows that.
I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. This is a personal decision. I won't force my choice upon anyone.
Very wise, she said with a touch of sarcasm.
And I like that. It's not like Eragon's gonna go out and tell people, like, because the thing he thinks, like, listen, there are some, like, poor farmers don't have the means to sustain themselves on vegetables alone.
Yep.
Like, you need, in the dead of winter?
Yeah. You do what you can.
You do what you can. And so it's like, Eragon, I like how thoughtful this choice is.
Yes.
That Eragon's like, also acknowledges that if I was in a position where I'm starving and the only thing I could do would to hunt to kill something else and eat it,
he's like, I would
still do that.
Yep.
But because I have no choice and must fight for survival, but if I don't, if I have the luxury of being able to choose otherwise, it is wrong for me personally not to make that choice.
Yes.
And I think, again, like, some things Paulini has written that I find, like, I don't know if this was as thoughtful as it could have been, or also potentially it was just written 20 years ago.
Yes.
And so just kind of not as, the conversations around these concepts or ideas were not as thought of, but, like, more often than not, he is deeply thoughtful.
Yes, absolutely.
And this decision of Eragon coming to, which is a thing that Arya said to him way back when.
Yeah.
Once you start your training, you'll never do it again, which I always hated. Well, it's inevitable. Instead of her just talking about, like, it is a choice I have made based on my training.
Yeah.
I've always found it very irksome when Eragon has been told, like, well, once you start your training.
Yeah.
Like,
once you do this.
It feels like it's completely antithetical to the way it's written now, which is Eragon has made the choice to do this because of his training.
Yes.
And it's like, but it's also suggesting that every elf is like, oh, maybe this is it. Every elf just assumes everyone will choose their choice if they have the same information because it is inherently the right choice to make.
Yeah.
When it's also like, what if is it possible for someone to go through the training and to be like, no, but I will continue to hunt because that is the circle of life. I won't use magic to kill someone. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But I will continue to do as I do because it is, like, is that not also, like, I've been in the head of a rabbit and I've been in the head of a wolf. Like,
exactly.
Like, so it's interesting that this is so thoughtful that Eragon is making a choice for himself and not condemning anybody else who lives in a different reality than he does to make a different choice. But to have been told multiple times by elves that he will make this choice.
Yeah.
And I just think that's interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know Saphira being like, oh, you sure? Like, for real?
Oh, really?
Great.
Really?
I'm gonna eat this.
I'm just gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it.
Man, you cooked it and that smells great.
That smells great.
Like,
and I am gonna that up.
Good for her. I'm not gonna let it go to waste.
Yes, exactly.
Good for you, babes.
Yep.
I love her.
Yep.
Oof, and now
She's
Saphira gets to take a turn on the making bad decisions train.
Yep.
Broken egg and scattered nest.
I like this because it starts off with, just regular training stuff. And then all of a sudden, Eragon's hand jerked as a line of pain shot up his leg, and he broke the nib of the quill and sprayed ink across the paper, ruining it. Across from him, Oramus also started, clutching his right arm. And it's like Eragon knows instantly. He doesn't have to be like, what was that? What happened? He just goes, Saphira! And he reached out to her with his mind, and to his bewilderment was deflected by impenetrable, thank you, barriers that she had erected around herself. He could barely feel her. It was as if he were trying to grasp an orb of polished granite coated with oil.
Great
she kept
description.
slipping away from him. Yeah, for sure. Really good.
And Oramus is experiencing the same thing.
Yep.
Because Eragon's like, something happened to them. I know not. Gladiator returns, but he refuses to talk to me.
Yep. And I love this. It's when Gladiator finally comes in, he lands, and Oramus starts forward, but Gladiator growls at him.
Yeah.
He goes to the edge of the forest, curls up, and then starts licking his wound, which is described as a wound on the back of the dragon's right foreleg, a tear in his lapped scales as wide as Eragon's hand. Scarlet blood laced the grooves between the surrounding scales, which is cool. Which is cool because you could see like the wound, and then all around it is just like lines of red as the blood just saturates, like very stark through the gold.
And when Gladiator lashes out, Oramus just backs off, and he sits and he waits until at some point in time, an unspoken signal, Gladiator allowed Oramus to draw near and inspect his leg.
Yep.
And Oramus heals it. He's fine. It's a fearsome wound, but no more than a scratch for one so large as Gladiator.
Yep.
But Saphira didn't come back.
Yes, and Saphira is still away.
Yeah, and Oramus directs him to go get her. And everyone's like, I don't know how.
There's like no way I can do this.
It's okay. The horse. The horse. The special elf horses.
The special elf horses that caused him.
The elven steeds.
Yes.
Summon him with your skill at gramarye. Name him and your need in this, the most powerful of languages, and he will come to your assistance. And
he does.
He does. He rides in.
He does the Gandalf whistle.
I was thinking the Gandalf thing. The horse shows up. They ride through. Saphira it's called the Stone of Broken Eggs.
Yep.
And it's, of course, in this high up stone cliffside. And he's like, I can't climb that. So he uses magic to fly?
Yeah. He uses magic to levitate himself.
That feels like something that should take so much strength, but it doesn't sound like it does.
Because how strong is Eragon? Because if magic takes it, can he bench himself? Can he pick his weight up?
He's pretty strong.
He's a farm boy.
He's a farm boy. He's been training. He's been doing the stretches.
Yeah.
And that's like building muscle and stuff. Yep. He's been like sparring with what's his face every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and it's like, it's just climbing.
Yeah.
I could climb. Once upon a time, I could climb that. But if it's the same energy that it would take to climb a wall, yeah, okay. I feel like that just seemed crazy, like levitating yourself through magic. But you're right; it's just like lifting yourself, and if you can do it with your body, the problem was there were just no handholds for him to grab onto, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if Eragon did climb that, which if it was like climbable, he could definitely do.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is. So we find Saphira. She's pissed. She's
Yeah,
not.
I also really like, on the eastern face of the monolith stood the tallest tower, in the center of which, like a black pit turned on its side, was the largest cave. It was there that Eragon finally beheld Saphira, curled in a hollow against the far wall, her back to the opening. I love just this, like, black, this dark, like, cavernous hole, and Saphira just this bright blue dragon. The color choice, and in that, just sticks out to my mind so well. I like it a lot.
Yep. And while he's traveling through, he sees like scales scattered about, like old torn nests, old like remnants of dragon, like
scorch marks,
like food and stuff. And also at one point, a fragment of a green dragon egg.
Yep.
I find Saphira. She doesn't want to talk to him. She's like acting like Gladiator, upset, walled off.
Yeah.
Like, so he does what he saw Ormus do, and he just kneels down and he waits until she's ready to talk.
Yep, and I do like that when he calls her, she stared at him as if he were a stranger, her pupils contracting into thin black slits as her eyes adjusted to the light in the setting sun behind him. And then she snarls at him and twists away and then doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because she doesn't know he's there because she's completely blocked him off. So she has no idea he's gotten so close.
Yes.
And it legitimately freaks her out.
Yep.
And I think also hearing her voice spoken out loud might also startle her because that's not how he calls out to her.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's also really upset, so she's just like, don't talk to me.
It's just not. So finally, she's willing to open up. I have been a fool.
We are all fools sometimes.
That makes it no easier when it is your turn to play dunce.
I suppose not.
I've always known what to do. When Garo died, I knew it was the right thing to pursue the Razak. When Brahm died, I knew that we should go to Glade and thence to the Varden. And when Ajahad died, I knew that you should pledge yourself to Niswada. The path has always been clear to me. Except now, in this issue alone, I am lost.
What is it, Saphira?
Do you know why this is called the Stone of Broken Eggs?
No.
Because during the war between dragons and elves, the elves tracked us to this location and killed us while we slept. They tore apart our nests and then shattered our eggs with their magic. That day, it rained blood in the forest below. No dragon has lived here since.
Eragon remained silent. That was not why he was here. He would wait until she could bring herself to address the situation at hand.
Say something!
Will you let me heal your leg?
Leave well enough alone.
Then I shall remain as mute as a statue and sit here until I turn to dust, for I have the patience of a dragon from you.
It shames me to admit it. When we first came here and I saw Gladiator, I felt such joy that another member of my race had survived besides Shruakan. I had never even seen another dragon before, except in Brahm's memories. I thought that Gladiator would be as pleased by my existence as I was by his.
But he was.
You don't understand. I thought that he would want to be the mate I never expected to have, and that together we could rebuild our race. I was mistaken. He does not want me.
That's because he knows you are destined for someone else, one of the two remaining eggs. Nor would it be proper for him to mate with you when he is your mentor.
Or perhaps he does not find me comely enough.
Saphira, no dragon is ugly, and you are the fairest of dragons.
I am a fool. And at this point, she raises her wing and lets Eragon heal it.
Yep. I want to point out there that she's been blocking him out this time. She is the one that repairs the connection first. She speaks to him first. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He's just like, okay, you're not ready to talk? I won't make you talk.
Yep.
But you clearly, but also I'm not going to leave
you need me
alone.
Yeah.
Right? Like I won't force you to speak. I won't force you to let me close, but I will not let you feel abandoned in this moment.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yes, absolutely. And this is, we get that whole, like, Oramus had given many scrolls on anatomy. And so he watches, he watches muscles and veins and all of that kind of knit together.
Yeah, because he also notes, like, I can't just heal the surface. I need to heal what's underneath. And I'm like,
well.
yes, that's something we talked about.
We talked about a whole time.
Hooray.
Yes.
essentially they have a really good heart-to-heart. Essentially, she does like apologize to Eragon, not only because he also said, you need to leave Gladier alone.
Yeah.
Like, this is a conversation they had a while ago.
Yeah.
But also she apologizes for that. I was too proud to see the truth in your words. Then she also apologizes for kind of not like something Ormus talked to him about. Like, she's super excited. She has been paying more attention to Gladier than she has to Eragon.
Yep.
And she apologizes.
Yeah,
for, like,
she's like, I'm sorry I've been treating you so badly.
Yep, I failed to be a good companion for you, betrayed what it means to be a dragon, and tarnished the honor of the riders. And I love Arya like, no, never that. Saphira, you haven't failed your duty. You may have made a mistake, but it was an honest one, and one that anyone might have committed in your position.
Yep.
And that does not excuse my behavior towards you. And he's like, hey, family members forgive each other.
Yep.
Like, we are family. Like, you're as much of my family as Roran, more. Nothing you can do will ever change that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I like that he's like, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But he's like acknowledging, he's like, yeah, you did do the thing. You were doing the thing. You did ignore me. You did these things. And I'm not like sweeping that under a rug, but we forgive each other.
Yeah,
and I forgive
you
you
for that. It's like
that.
And she's still kind of like sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to ultimately say he's kind of saying it's okay without saying it's okay. He's like, I forgive you. We can move forward from this.
Yeah. She keeps ignoring him. So he starts like kind of tickling behind on her jaw. Do you hear me? Nothing.
Yep.
And she's like, huh? And then it's that thing after you've made a fool of yourself and you're finally like processing, you get angry and you're just like, oh no, how am I supposed to face them again?
Yeah.
God, he was so mad. And he's like, hey, at least you held your own when he attacked you. No, I attacked him. Oh, God damn it, Saphira.
Yeah, it was the other way around. And he's like, well, in any case, the only thing to do is apologize. And
apologize?
She gets so upset. She's still as prideful as ever. It's great.
Yep.
I love it. She doesn't change. She feels bad. She feels terrible, but she's still like, apologize.
Like, you have to. And let him know you still want to train. You'll feel better. Trust me.
I know from experience.
And then at the end, he climbs on her back. They're about to take off. Eragon, thank you for coming. I know what you risked with your back.
Are we one again?
We are one.
It's so good.
It's very good.
It's a very good thing. And we're not going to talk about the next ones. But yeah, very, very good. Very good. Love it.
Yeah, it's lovely and impactful. And I also like, as much as we gripe about Eragon and Arya, it's just like, so painful to keep retreading this Eragon trying to learn this lesson that he's just refusing to learn. I don't like dislike it as a component of like the narrative and what these characters are dealing with, like in mirroring Saphira in the same way. Yes. And and that's just fascinating. And I really like Eragon going and being with her, and also her thanking him for coming to get her. Yeah,
even though like at first she didn't want him there. Yeah, she didn't want him there. But she's thankful that he came.
Yeah, and it's very lovely. Yes, and it's deeply, deeply heartfelt. And this moment of Eragon being like, "We're family."
We're family. Yeah, I don't like. He does say like you're like Roran, even closer. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
You're as much of my family as Roran is.
Maybe more. And I'm just like, But also, I get it.
I don't know. I guess their deep bond is more than any
any bond that he would have. Yes,
he's like, family is that, but it's not family. It's not friendship. It's not. It's something so much between them that because there's nothing else like it.
Yes,
absolutely. There's no word to fully describe it. Yep. So yeah, it was very good.
Yep, agreed. Good chapters.
Yeah. Writing takeaway. No more using the phrases dark and or black magic. There are so many better adjectives to describe harmful magics.
Yes, absolutely.
A good quest.
Maybe it's just like, what is your favorite like reconciliation of two characters? Like two characters that after they've been like fighting or in the wrong and they come together, or one maybe a good apology when one character is like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like I did mess up. Like maybe is there a scene like that somewhere?
Yeah, reconciliation. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. What's a reconciliation in fiction that you really resonates with you?
Because there's the one.
Hey Zuko here. Sorry for all that.
Hey Zuko here. I like that. That's so good. Hi, Zuko here.
Yep.
There's like one, or maybe even like there's one in Six of Crows. Nina and Matthias is kind of interesting. It's not really it's kind of a reconciliation, but also like she put him in like jail that's like hell to save him. And he doesn't know that, but when he finds out, he's still pissed because he was literally lived in hell for like a year.
Yeah.
And so like coming to terms with that, and then finally at the end forgiving each other but not saying it out loud. So it was kind of like they're getting along, but it's also like annoying.
Yeah.
But then they get together. It's a whole thing. But it's nice, but kind of maybe something like that.
Oh yeah. Like in the first Shadowhunters trilogy, Magnus and Alec are like sort of dating, and they kind of break up, and then they find each other on like kind of a battlefield, and Alec just shows up, and the first thing out of the mouth is like, "You didn't call me back."
Yeah.
And it's Magnus being like, I don't know, I like you, because Alec's very in the closet at the time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Magnus is like, I can't deal with that anymore. Like, I just don't know if you like, I love you.
Yeah.
He's like, you love me? And he's like, yeah, I keep, every time you or your fucking friends need any magic, I show up to help.
Yeah.
Do you think I just do that for anybody? And that scene is very good. And then in the second sequel trilogy of that sequence, it's sort of repeated, but on a larger scale. But very different. Not like these. It's very interesting, these two characters, what they go through of finding their way back together. And yeah, so it's every time, and this, okay, I would say every time. It was like twice that they like had a falling out and got back together. But both 2 times of them reconciling and getting back together is like, oh no, hold on. The second one is way better. Okay, so they break up big time in the like second to the last book of the first 6, because Alec was trying to kind of figuring out how to take away Magnus's immortality.
Oh, fun.
Because he's mortal and Magnus is an immortal warlock. And when Magnus finds out, he's pretty upset. But it also was like, Alec wasn't really going to do that, but he was talking to the fairy queen who used to, not the fairy queen, he was talking to a vampire lady that used to date Magnus. And Magnus was really annoyed. He's like, I told you I never wanted to talk about my past, and you said that was okay. He's like, yeah, I said that was okay when we first got together, and I didn't know what a relationship was. Like, I didn't know what a relationship was supposed to be, but, like, actually, never sharing any of your past with me isn't okay in a relationship. Like, that's actually not okay for you just expect me to never want to know more about you, period, ever. Like, and so anyway, he saves him. He gets kidnapped by a demon prince, and Alec and everybody saves him. It's great. But at the end, Magnus gives him a book. He's like, I've written my story down and I want to share it with you because you're right. Like, that's not what a healthy relationship is. And I do want to choose to share it with you. So,
that's good.
It's great.
That's really good.
Yes. Shall we do some listener comments?
Yes. Let's do the listener comments.
From listener the Dragon Mage. Yes, I finally caught up with you. And this is the episode where we asked about what would you bring to a deserted island? A solar-powered phone so I could read no matter where I was.
There you go. That's a good idea.
A great answer for sure. Listener Kiki on episode 65. Supernatural mentioned in 2025? I win. I'm like, oh yeah, I did talk about Supernatural. For the quests, as I dive into the Stormlight archives for the first time, Kaladin and Syl's friendship is so amazing and heartwarming. I only just started the second book, but I'm excited to see how that bond continues. Love it. Love a friendship.
Yes.
And then from listener Curtis Moore, my favorite fictional friendship is Gus and Cal from The Lonesome Dove. They have everything a fictional friendship needs: rich backstory, deep bonds, and long-standing arguments.
Fair.
They annoy each other, but they genuinely care for each other too. And when, spoiler alert for a 40-year-old book that was excellently adapted into a miniseries 30 years ago, one of them dies, the one that's left is genuinely crushed.
Oh,
devastating.
Yep.
Devastating. I think my grandpa had the Lonesome Dove miniseries on VHS.
Oh, nice. Gotta love hearing from Curtis. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Curtis in a while.
Oh, this one's, speaking of friendships and stuff, so episode 65, we got a listener from O Canada 122. In this episode, you think that Auric sees Eragon as a friend and Eragon not so much the same. I disagree. I think Eragon thinks of Auric as a friend, however, Auric thinks of Eragon as a brother. His foster father adopted Eragon, so by dwarven law, they're brothers, and it seems like family really means a lot. I think Eragon views it as a formality, while Auric views it as a matter of honor. Which is an excellent point that we had not considered when analyzing, like, Auric and Eragon's relationship. Is that, like, I think that,
I agree. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I think, like, I wouldn't say that perhaps we misspoke. I don't think that Eragon doesn't view Auric as a friend. I just don't think he
is the good friend.
I don't
now.
think he like
Or
he
the good
doesn't
friend at that point.
consider Auric when he's not directly in front of him the same
Yep.
way he thinks about Arya.
Yes.
Or, Saphira. Well, Saphira's different. Saphira doesn't count. Like,
Saphira
Saphira's in
doesn't
a
count.
class of
She's
her
in his
own.
head all the time.
Yeah.
But I think Arya is a good
But yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Because
But,
he's like,
like-
oh, I don't want to lose your friendship, but I'm thinking about you all the time, but like not work.
But like, I'd never think about Auric unless he's standing directly fucking in front of me.
Yeah.
Literally, not once, even in these last chapters.
Yeah.
Since the
doesn't-
Farth incident, Auric isn't thought of once.
Yep.
And so, but I think that's
But
that's
it's
a
like-
good point. Like
yeah.
the idea of like, yeah, this is Auric is like, yeah, you're adopted my clan, you're my brother.
Yes.
And I have this deep investment in
Yes.
your well-being.
Yep.
And considerate of you. Whereas Eragon's like, yeah, that's my friend Auric.
Yeah,
like,
that's my friend.
but like my work friend.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, O Canada 122.
Yes,
this is
thank
an
you.
Excellent, excellent element. All right. Thank you all so very much for
Yes,
joining us
thank
for another
you.
episode. If you have thoughts on writing tips to take away for this episode,
Yeah.
for the quest or anything else, you can drop them in the comments on Patreon. Not
Mhm.
Patreon. I mean, if you want to, you can join us on the Dragon's Keep
There
and
you
also
go.
talk to us there.
Yes.
You can drop them on Spotify, or you can comment on our Instagram post. You can send us a DM on Instagram. You can send us
Yes.
an email, aragonpod@gmail.com. You can also comment on if you're listening on YouTube, you can comment there. I cannot promise I will see those
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not checking. I don't have to manually upload, and I don't get push notifications because I'm not actively logged into the Eragon YouTube on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm on my personal one on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can, and we'll see if it lets me know you'll have to comment, and if it does, I will absolutely include it on my list to shout out for sure.
It would
But like, I can make no promises.
It would go to the email, wouldn't it? We get notification via email.
I don't know.
Who knows?
'Cause
I don't
that's-
know either very
Because
much.
I don't get notifications via email on
That's
my
true.
comments for the muses.
That's true.
So
That's
like
true.
but I know I will see them when I log in because I have that on my phone.
Yeah.
So
yep.
like, again, I'm not saying don't leave comments there. I'm just giving you a heads up that if you do, or maybe, hey, if you listen on YouTube, leave a comment to let us know that you're there, and we will be able to test and see
Yeah.
if it's gonna let me
if it's
know
gonna let us know
via email that we got a
Yes.
notification, and then I can hop and see it. And then,
Yep.
But yeah, that's just what's up. And if you have and you haven't heard a shout out yet, that may be why. We'll find out.
Yep. We'll find out.
Thank you all so much for
Yes.
joining us.
Thank you again.
And until next
Appreciate it.
time, she's Lucy Hart,
And she's Darien Smart.
and this is Eragon.
And back again.